What's up, Clemson? The extra point starts right now. All right, everyone, we're going to get right into it, talk about the NBA, but it's a very emotional night tonight. It is Kobe Bryant's last game for the Lakers, for the NBA in total. Guys, let's get a little emotional here. What's your favorite Kobe memory?
Everybody's going to say the 81-point game, because that's what he's basically most known for. That's what he's going to go down in the history books for. But my low-key, my favorite memory for Kobe is when Matt Barnes was taking the ball out of bounds and pump faked right in his face, and the dude didn't even flinch. Like, that is the most, I don't want to say, certain word on here, but that is the most bad thing you could possibly do. And, oh, man, that's my favorite moment. That really sums up Kobe's career, in my opinion. What about you?
Probably the 81 points.
Yeah.
Like you said. Just something you just don't witness every day, you know?
No. The dude did things scoring-wise that nobody could do. And it's going to be sad kind of missing him. He's been with the Lakers for so long. He's been in the league since I was watching basketball. I don't know NBA without Kobe. So it's going to be interesting these next couple of years to see what it's like.
All right, guys, so what's next for the Los Angeles Lakers?
The bottom. That is what's next. They're going to be at the bottom of the league for a couple years. Hopefully they can get a big free agency, because that's the only, or they can make a splash in free agency, because that's the only way they're coming out, in my opinion. I mean, they might draft Ben Simmons if they get the number 1 overall pick, but they might not get the overall pick, and Ben Simmons might not even be all that good. He's got the body for it. He does, but you don't know. He can't really shoot all that well. So unless he's going to be a post or face up post, I really don't see him being a wing all that much unless he can develop an outside game.
I think they're definitely going to need to get either a dominant 3 or a dominant center. They have Julius Randle. They have D'Angelo Russell. They have some young talent on their roster that can do some things if
Jordan Clarkson, too. I mean,
yeah.
But the thing that scares me, too, is just the feuding that's been going on. Obviously, D'Angelo Russell is still going on for, it's been about almost a month now. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Lakers are really in turmoil right now, and as soon as Kobe, the Black Mamba, leaves, it's going to be tough. But other than that, they need to make a splash in free agency, or it's going to be at least 2 to 3 years at the bottom.
Definitely.
Speaking of free agency, do you guys think the Lakers will make a big splash? Do you think they will get a big-name player that is a free agent, or who do you think they'll sign in free agency?
Westbrook?
Nah, I don't know. I think Westbrook stays in the Thunder. I think the Kevin Durant stays with the Thunder. They'd be dumb to split up. They're so dynamic. It's not them that's stopping the Thunder. It's really the other pieces. They don't have other guys that they can go to. So honestly, I don't see a big name star, young or all-star going to the Lakers anytime soon. To be honest, I don't see it. They haven't gotten one in since Dwight Howard, really, is the last big free agency signing. And
that didn't work out.
Yeah, and that didn't work out. So I don't see him getting one anytime soon, especially with the people that they're talking about most going to free agency. Kevin Love is locked up in Cleveland for a while. LeBron might. I mean, there's been speculation, but I think LeBron stays in Cleveland. Melo might, but I think he'll probably stay in New York. I've heard rumors that he wants to team up with LeBron. Obviously, LeBron made a statement that he wants to team up with him, so maybe you'll see Melo go to Cleveland. But I don't see a big name superstar, especially a younger superstar, going to LA anytime soon.
Definitely. Kawhi Leonard is just another name to throw in there. I don't see him leaving San Antonio, though. But
San Antonio made him who he is, really.
Yeah. All right. Once again, it's a historical night in NBA right now. The Golden State Warriors, they are one game away from breaking the 95-96 Bulls wins record. Now, they play the Grizzlies tonight. Do you guys think they can do it?
I think they will do it. It's the Grizzlies. Grizzlies aren't that good. They're a good defensive team, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop them. They're really not playing for all that much.
Then they're what, five or six seed?
Yeah, I think they're the fifth, because I think the Blazers are the sixth seed, or maybe I have them flipped around.
Yeah, somewhere.
But yeah, they're really not playing anything. They're not moving up. I don't think they're threatening to move down. I think they got a 1-game lead over whoever's next. So they're not really playing anything. They might, they might pull it off, and they might think that they're playing with something just to stop them. But I think the Warriors are going to win by at least 10, 15 points.
Yeah, I don't think.
Especially at home.
Exactly. I don't think the Grizzlies have enough offense to keep up with the Golden State Warriors in this ballgame, especially without Marc Gasol. You really don't have a go-to player. Maybe if Lance can heat up, but he's going to have to drop 50.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you guys think the Golden Warriors will do in the playoffs? Do you think they can repeat?
Everybody, see, man, this is tough because everyone is really pulling for them, thinking that they're going to repeat. Obviously, because if they win tonight, they're the best. They're the best regular season team in NBA history. But I think that if they win tonight, it makes it even harder for them to repeat, just because it's just another burden that they might carry on their shoulders. Like, for instance, they are the best regular season team, and now they have that whole nother weight on their shoulders, thinking that they have to win the championship now. Because if they don't win the championship, then they're not the best team. You know, there's been pictures with Scottie Pippen. The shirt says 72-10, doesn't matter, doesn't mean a thing without the ring, and then that really means everything. If 73-9 doesn't mean a thing if you don't get the ring. The Bulls got the ring. The Warriors, they don't have the ring yet. I think they need to win the championship. They know that they will need to win the championship if they, even if they lose tonight, and because they're still tied with the record. Even if they lose tonight, they need to win. I think that's going to make it harder. It's just going to be more stress, bigger weight on their shoulders. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to be harder or more stress on them because I think they've kept that in perspective the entire year. I mean, you hear Klay Thompson talking about it. They have to get the job done. I mean, the regular season doesn't really mean much.
That's another point, though, because everything really heats up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So as competition heats up and everybody's playing for something, because it's a 0-0 slate now, you know?
I don't think anybody can beat them 4 games.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. The Thunder, the Spurs, Cavs, Raptors.
4 games.
Whew.
They're probably going to have to beat them twice in Golden State.
Yeah?
Probably.
You have to beat them twice in Golden State.
I don't see that happening.
All I'm saying is it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, you're right.
Anything can happen. We thought the Thunder was dominant. 3 years ago or 3-4 years ago when James Harden was the sixth man? We thought it's their year. It's Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook's year. And then the Spurs come out of nowhere when we thought the Spurs were done, and they go ahead and beat them in 5 games? So you never know. I mean, I think this could be a situation where the Golden State Warriors might come in a little cocky and be like, oh yeah, we're the best regular season team, not think much of it. And just maybe I would love personally to see them lose in the first round. I think that would be awesome.
The first round?
I think
Oh, man.
I think Draymond Green is way too cocky. I think Steph Curry's way too cocky now. Humbleness goes a long way. And when they're acting like that,
all right,
you know what I'm saying? It's a personal thing for me.
Okay. So they'll probably have to play the Rockets or the Jazz.
Yeah.
Neither of them are beating the Warriors. Maybe the Rockets. I don't think the Jazz could do it. Maybe the Rockets.
Well, speaking of the Rockets and Jazz, Josh.
Yeah, speaking of them, you're getting ahead of yourself. Speaking of them, which one do you think is going to make the playoffs, the Rockets or the Jazz?
I'm gonna go with the Rockets.
Rockets?
They've been playing really good the past few games. I think they've been scoring about 111 the last 2 or 3 games. So their offense is clicking. So I'm gonna go with the Rockets.
I'm also going to go with the Rockets. I know this is a debate show, not much debate going on here when you have a player called James Harden on your team, arguably the best scorer in the whole entire league, just pure scorer. The guy can straight out shoot, and I think that the Rockets are the biggest threat to the Warriors, especially if Dwight Howard can find himself. It's been a couple years, but he's shown glimpses of what he's done in the past. If he can find himself and really fit in the offense, if James Harden can get hot for 4 games, I think the Rockets are going to give the Warriors some fits if they make it to the playoffs. But, Rudy Gobert, I don't think is playing tonight for the Jazz, so it's going to be tough for them to really make an impact. But you look at the Jazz, you got Gordon Hayward, Rudy Gobert, they got a decent team. Rodney Hood, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a team that you don't want to mess with, either, and don't want to take lightly. Both teams gonna give fits to whoever they play. With Golden State, it'd be Golden State, yeah. But I think James Harden and the Rockets just will give a little bit more fit to Golden State.
Talking about fit for Golden State, I think the Clippers can actually do something with Golden State.
You think?
Blake Griffin coming back. He's not been doing anything great, but I mean, he's only been playing a few games. 10-6, I think he's been averaging since he's been back, but they've been looking pretty good.
They've been looking good, and when Chris Paul has 38 out of the 82 games, going 10 points and 10 assists, that bodes well going into the playoffs as well. So hopefully, I would like to see Chris Paul personally win one. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially knock off the Warriors. But you never know. The Warriors are so good. They have a great coach. They have a great roster. Steph Curry is going to be the MVP, no doubt. It's going to be unanimous. It's going to be interesting to see, to say the least.
I saw something the other day. It was talking about could Westbrook make a case so it wouldn't be unanimous? So I don't know. He's been playing very good.
The only thing is, it's going to be unanimous because the Warriors are going to be 73-9. Yeah. Steph is averaging 31 points, 30 points, and I think 7-8 assists. You can't argue with those numbers. Russell Westbrook has had a triple-double in 13, 14 games, or 18?
I think he has 18 this year.
18, I think it's 18. I thought I was lowballing it, which is an unreal stat there. But Russell Westbrook is amazing. But if it wasn't for the Warriors going 73-10, or 73-9, about to go 73-9, I think Russell Westbrook could seriously make a very, very compelling case for MVP as well.
All right, guys, let's head over to America's pastime, baseball. Now, this is a topic very close to my heart. The Atlanta
emotional
Braves,
night for everyone.
Very emotional past week for me. The Atlanta Braves are currently 0-7. They're playing the Nationals right now. Last time I checked, they're down 3. They're bad, like really bad. So, just go ahead, talk about how bad they are.
Yeah, the Braves, really, really bad. Shelby Miller signing with the Diamondbacks, and honestly, Shelby Miller, I'm not a huge fan of him personally. The way he plays, I don't think he's even that good. And the fact that he's leaving the Braves, it's really scary.
He was traded.
Or traded? I thought he got signed. My bad. He left the Braves. That's bad. Hopefully they got some young talent back in some trades. Andrelton Simmons is now gone too. The one thing you can look forward to, Braves fans, is Freddie Freeman. The guy is awesome. The guy is going to be, if he stays with the Braves his whole career, he's going to be one of the best Braves, up there with Chipper Jones when it's all said and done, in my opinion. And we were talking before the show, Josh. Chipper Jones is awesome. Chipper Jones is one of the best baseball players, in my opinion, of all time. But yeah, Braves are really bad. They need they don't need to do anything, is the scary part. They just need to wait it out. They need to trust the process. They need to go through the rebuilding. It's going to take 4 or 5 years, but believe me, when it's all said and done, if you do it the right way, they're going to be contenders for a very long time. Look at the Cubs. Is the prime example of building through the right way. I mean, you look at the free agency signing, John Lackey, okay, maybe, but John Lester, all right, that's a little bit bigger name, but other than that, they really don't have that much free agency signing. Jason Hayward too, though. Yeah. But before then, I mean, they built the right way. Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, very sad news about Kyle Schwarber and his ACL. Starlin Castro, who went to the Yankees, but Addison Russell. I mean, you can go down the list of the prospects that they grew in their farm system, and now look at the benefit that it's coming through the system. So, Braves fans and Josh, trust the process is what I'm saying. It's going to be a tough couple years, but even look at the Indians, for example. The Indians were bad for a while too, and they're my favorite team. But now their pitching staff is unreal. Francisco Lindor is now up in the majors. It will come. It will start falling to pieces, but unfortunately, you're going to be going through some rough years.
I just hope we don't turn into the baseball equivalent of the 76ers. On the other side, we got the Orioles. They started 7-0. They're currently beating the Red Sox. So, I mean, can this streak last? Of course they can't go undefeated, but can this streak keep going? Do they have a chance at winning their division?
Honestly, I don't think they have a chance winning the division. You can't win it in April, but you can lose it. So the Orioles are doing a great job of not losing it in April, unlike the Braves, who's doing a pretty good job of losing it in April.
We lost it before it started.
But the Orioles have a sneaky good lineup, obviously with Adam Jones, Manny Machado, and Chris Davis at the helm. But other than that, their pitching staff is not good. When Kevin Gausman gets back, he actually just got re-injured, had a line drive hit his kneecap or something like that. I don't remember exactly the full details. So he's now regressed in his rehab. But as soon as he comes back, their staff's going to be a little better. But man, oh man, does that staff need work. And you'll start noticing that coming down the line because the Orioles offense just can't keep up putting the numbers that they're putting up if they want to keep winning ball games. They need solid pitching, and just they won't have that. So I don't think they'll win the division. I think it's going to be a Blue Jays or the Red Sox that really come out of it.
The Red Sox are 4 games back right now. So
Well, right now, but you know,
it's a long season.
Yeah.
It's a long season. 162 games.
Oof.
So I mean, they're off to a good start. Chris Davis, he has 4 home runs so far this year. Last I saw, they were up 2-0 on the Red Sox. So
Yeah.
they're doing pretty good right now. But like you said, Ubaldo Jimenez and that pitching staff, they're gonna have to get right.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Ubaldo Jimenez back when he was with the Rockies in 2011 or 2010, I don't remember the year anymore, so long ago, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, this team's good. But Ubaldo Jimenez has showed that he is very inconsistent. When he's on, he is on. But when he's off, oh, stay away, man. He is so bad. But yeah, the Orioles doing a great job right now. Hopefully they can keep it up for their sake. But man, oh man, do the Braves have to do something.
So I find it interesting that neither of you guys mentioned the Yankees because their bullpen's one of the best in baseball right now. Do you think they have a chance at winning that the AL East?
Well, Starlin Castro is playing pretty well in his first couple games, but Ross Chapman's still suspended. He'll be coming back, making that bullpen even better. But the thing with the Yankees is their starting pitching isn't nearly as good as what it needs to be. Masahiro Tanaka, obviously, he's solid, but I don't think that he's going to be amazing. Luis Severino, he's a very good up-and-coming prospect, but he's still got some little bit of control issues. But other than that, the lineup for the Yankees really doesn't scare me. You got Brian McCann, who Braves fans, he's a solid catcher. But Brett Gardner's getting older.
Still has lightning speed.
Still has lightning speed, but he's getting older, man. Starlin Castro is playing well, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep up the offensive stretch or offensive hot stretch here. Mark Teixeira is decent, but once again, he's going to bat 225. He'll hit 30, 40 homers, but he's going to bat 225 and strike out 150, 175 times. So I don't know. The Yankees will threaten. They'll threaten the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, but I just don't see them winning the division.
I'm a Red Sox fan, so I can't say that. I can't say the Yankees are going to win the division, but I think they can compete.
They definitely. They're going to threaten, but I think they'll finish 3rd or 4th maybe. I mean, the Rays staff, if the Rays staff can get it clicking, the Rays have been off to a kind of slow start. But if Smiley, if Archer can get the ball moving, I think the Rays can threaten too. I think the AL East can be a halfway decent division this year. It usually always is, but I think it went down a little bit last year. But I think it can pick back up here. Yeah, definitely.
I actually think the 2 most interesting divisions in baseball this year is, of course, the NL Central and the AL East. Just the AL East, I honestly, except for the Rays, sorry, but I honestly can't tell you which one of those teams would win. NL Central, I mean, it looks like the Cubs are doing good, but once again, it's the first 10 games. So, I mean, anything could happen. But, so we got a little controversy going on here in Clemson, South Carolina. The athletic department changing the ticket system, and you can explain this better than I can. So why don't you go ahead?
All right. So I don't even know the full details, to be honest. But as far as I know, the idea is on the table to start having students pay for season tickets. It's not going to be on a single game basis as far as I know. It's going to be, I think, $225 for a lower deck season ticket. And then there will be obviously still free tickets, I think, in the upper deck and maybe the hill. I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to work. But a lot of students are protesting that big time. I've seen petition after petition on Facebook asking all the students to sign it. But I think the students need to step back a little bit. If you think about it, it's $40, somewhere around there when you come down to it per game, and you're getting a lower deck ticket. I mean, students literally fight over lower deck tickets. If you go back to the Notre Dame game last year, there were students selling their upper deck ticket for $50 and their lower deck ticket for $100 and $150. So when students say that they won't pay for tickets, I don't really necessarily believe them because they have in the past. And money's just another value signal, or is like the main value signal, but also so is time and so is frustration as well. We had frustration with the online system, and we had time with the camping out system. Students would wait 2-3 days to get a ticket. So it all goes back and everything. So money, obviously, people value a little more, but it's going to be the easiest way. It's going to be the most fair way, in my opinion, to show who really values it more. And I hope that there's going to be some ways where students that aren't as fortunate as others can find a way to maybe do something, maybe do like a half-season plan or something with a friend. But I think this is going to be. I mean, it's another trial and error thing. The online system kind of worked, but there's some issues with it. The Hill or the camping out system worked for a long time, and then some parents were calling in complaining, and it just got to the part where I think the athletic department said, all right, screw it, we're tired of the complaints, we need to find a better system. So we're still trying to find the better system, and hopefully we do within the next couple of years.
In all honesty, I wouldn't want to pay for football tickets in the upper deck. Personally, the only time that I had an upper deck ticket was the Notre Dame game. It was a messy game. It was raining. I honestly didn't like that. So, I mean, if I had to do that.
Well, it wasn't any better in the lower deck.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's still raining just as hard.
Yeah. But I just wouldn't want to do that.
I don't like I said, I don't think upper deck tickets are going to cost money, though. Those are still going to be free. So we'll still have that. But the lower deck tickets, those are the ones that people value the most. So I don't know. Hopefully it works well, and I hope that when we get down to it, students start accepting it. But like I said, my opinion will change as we see the system. I only know the small details for it and what the athletic department's doing. But they're trying their best to try to make it fair for everybody. But at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. And they realize that. And hopefully they just pick their battles wisely and they can win them all.
I personally think this is probably the worst year to implement this new system.
Oh, for sure.
Because there's no, besides the South Carolina game, there's no really big home game that I can really name out.
That you'd want to pay money for.
Yeah, that I want to pay money for. Last year, you had the Notre Dame game, you had Florida State, and of course you had the undefeated team. I'm sure if they go undefeated again, people will definitely pay for it. But according to the home schedule for this upcoming season, I don't think people are going to be willing to pay. And I think that's just poor timing on the athletic department's part. But, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. People will pay.
Yeah, people will pay. And students are a lot of students are outraged by this, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that complain about both systems. So beggars can't be choosers in the sense that, you didn't get the ticket you wanted when it was the camping out system, so you complained. All right, so we changed it to the online system to try to make it more fair. You didn't get the ticket you wanted, you had your mom complain, or your dad complain, or you complain. At what point will the students just be like, all right, we found a system that we hated, this one's not as bad, let's just stick to it. You know what I'm saying? So as long as people are complaining, which they always will complain, as long as there's a minimal amount of complaints, though, the system will be fine, and students just got to realize that. And there'll be other ways to get tickets, I'm sure. I just hope that, like I said, we can find a system that works for everybody.
All right, guys. Wait, Zach, you got one more thing? Or are you good?
I'm good.
You good? All right.
Good.
Very short episode, but, test. We didn't have a big panel this week. It's all good.
We had the best panel.
It is the best panel. Everybody will be here next week that I know of.
Last show.
Last show of the year next week, so see you all there. This is the Extra Point. See ya. Wow, that failed.